Hello, this is Fine Line Press, quality books. I'm going to tell you about a few of them, almost all of them actually. So it's new writers and lyrical stories. None more lyrical than Masuho Fujita. She was the first the first writer, and she wrote wonderful poetical stories about Tokyo long ago in the 1930s. Fine little book with beautiful photographs and paintings inside. There we go as an example. Woohoo. Next up is 40 Stories of Japan, a collection of fine writers, fine stories, people who have lived in Japan, people who still live there. Again, lovely stories, beautifully told. And none more so than Matt Komeski, who lived in Japan for 3 years as an English teacher on a special program traveling from New Zealand. And he wrote lovely stories like Lively Lunch and Love Hotel. There we are, Ribbons of Fate. And next, Mary King. Mary King walked the length of Japan with her friend from way up in the north of Hokkaido to the south to Okinawa in the south. 1,500 kilometers, taking many months. Beautiful stories told along the way. So that's Mary King, Japan on Foot. Quite a feat, so to speak. Okay, Down Under Japan, as the title says, New Zealand and Australian writers only. Again, lovely stories by Kiwis and Aussies who have lived in Japan. Next, Ed Levinson's memoirs. He is a professional photographer living in Japan a long time, and this again is beautifully poetically told. Next, my old friend, Thelma, got to nearly 106, and we'd had 6 years of conversation about early New Zealand, about poetry, and she would say things. She would say when she would recite a poem that I mentioned, she would say, "It must be 100 years since I recited that poem," and I would agree with her. Next, American celebrity interviewer in Tokyo, old friend Cliff. Alan and I worked with Cliff as a teaching, and he also had a sideline interviewing celebrities who came to Tokyo, and there's one of them there. Next, a passion of mine, wine. To wine, again, a collection of fine writers about wine and their experiences of wine and their passion for wine. Next up, Gushers. Whoops, what's that? Oh, that's a book fallen on the floor. Gushers, people real and imagined talking, spieling on at length, sometimes quite boringly, but it's a bit of fun. So there's advice on getting fit, and there's advice on travel, great old rock songs, the old teacher spieling on about how to teach. Oh, Japan, love Japan, yes, pet peeves, and the hypochondriac. These are just some examples, the hypochondriac being me, of course. And next up, no, I'll have to go down on the floor to get it. Next up is What Keeps Me Going. Again, a collection of writers telling what keeps them going. Things like nature, pets, curiosity, travel, reading, keeping fit, all that kind of thing helps them to keep going in this life. Again, well-written stories, well told. Finally, cat speak. Yes, indeed, cats venting their thoughts and feelings about life. One of them, Hoppy, says, "Don't look at me like that." There's a photograph of him, and it was like this when I arrived, honest. And there's a mess in the carpet. The carpet is all screwed up, clawed up. There's really no need for you to be so blamingly one-eyed about it. I could do that all by myself. And Boy, another cat, is a fan of Japan, and there's a photograph of him beside a Japanese fan. And he says he would love to travel to Japan. Yeah, sometime, never, perhaps. Okay, those are a few of the books from Fine Line Press. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.